This is actually an active ongoing investigation, so there is limited information that we have at this present time. But at 8:30 this morning, officers responded to multiple 911 calls where a male was yelling and a female was in distress. Officers were able to make contact with the male. They were able to make entry into the actual residence. At that point, the male tried to stab the officers with a knife. Officers were able to tactically retreat. There was smoke inside the actual residence. At this point, officers, were able to retreat back. We then had our SWAT officers who were trained with the CBA, and they actually have masks up. They actually made entry. However, the smoke and actually flames were so much that they had to step back. At that point, they realized that no one would actually be able to survive inside the residence, and we then turned it over to fire. Fire then was able to put out the flames, or put out some of the flames. They did locate a body inside the residence of the suspect that tried to stab at the officers. Our homicide unit is actually out here responding and investigating the scene as well, because of the initial 911 reports of hearing a female that was in distress. The fire department was able to locate another additional victim inside the basement. Right now, that's all we have, so I don't know who she is, or I don't know who actually, if it's a male or female, but we have been able to locate one additional victim in this residence. There were 4 officers that had made entry. They had, because of the smoke inhalation, 4 officers are being treated at Harborview Medical Center for smoke inhalation. It is, I want to commend all those that responded to the scene. The fire department, our officers, our responding officers, they did a fantastic job trying to save lives, trying to figure out how to locate people inside the residence. However, unfortunately, they did have smoke inhalation and they're being treated at Harborview at this time.
So we started with exterior operations. We had fire in the basement level of the home, and so firefighters were working to put water on the fire from the exterior inside the basement. As the fire spread throughout the home, once we were able to go inside the structure, then we started applying water on all 3 levels. There were no firefighter injuries, and as you heard from Chief Diaz, 4 Seattle police officers were transported to Harborview Medical Center, and all 4 are in stable condition. We have our fire investigators on scene, and Seattle Police also has their arson and bomb squad on scene. They'll be working closely together. I don't know the gender of the second victim that was found, but there was the first adult male that was found on the main floor, and then the second person was found in the basement.
It is our arson bomb squad. So arson, obviously, when somebody tries to light a building on fire, they're going to respond. At this time, it's still part of the active and ongoing investigation. I mean, right now, what we had was a male yelling and a female in distress. So it's too early to tell what actually sparked this actual 911 call. During the time where the officers had tactically retreated and our SWAT officers, prior to making the entry, there was a gunshot that people heard. Right now, we do not know if that is associated with the actual suspect, but that's one of the things that will be part of this investigation. This home has 3 different residents. So I think 2 apartments that are up on the top level, and then 1 that has a main level with a basement. So at this point, it appears to be associated with the basement and the main level as part of our investigation. All other people that are inside, that have a residence inside this location, are accounted for. So that is a good thing. We believe that the suspect lived there, but at this time we have not been able to identify the suspect, and so we cannot make that determination at this time. Just because of the situation that from the 911 call, it appeared that we had an ongoing investigation of yelling and screaming, and then when officers actually were able to make entry, the officers were then confronted with somebody that was trying to stab them. A gunshot also was heard, so obviously this is going to spark a pretty substantial response. They also had the smoke, so obviously you got fire department that is making sure that they're able to do what they need to do when it comes to the fire.
For more local news coverage, live and on demand, watch King 5 Plus. Download free on Roku and Fire TV.